I've always appreciated Ali's free reports on books he's found important in the realm of wealth building, personal productivity, and entrepreneurship. This is all in the context of what I would call being a doctorpreneur, using his clinical background, his training, his experience to transition to something that he chooses, a better life, so to speak. This book, Feel Good Productivity, is subtitled How to Do More of What Matters to You. Now, this is very important. This is the gist of my video here. It's about seeing what you do on a daily basis, your routines, and making sure that they're contributing to what you think is important about your life. It's about reframing this book as a guide for purposeful aging. This not only applies to the 50 plus age group, but even younger people, I believe, could benefit from seeing the book in this light. It's productivity for a meaningful life, not just a busy one, not just the hustle. It's about thinking very carefully about how you use your time and how it will contribute to your legacy. Again, that was the subject of my previous video. Now, Abdaal breaks up his book into three major sections, which are energize, unblock, and sustain. First section, energize, relates to the fact that purpose begins with energy. And as subtopics to this section, he mentions play, power, and people. Now, play is very important, especially for older adults, to have this sense of wonderment, curiosity, where you're willing to investigate and embrace new things. And it's definitely a skill that we need to engender and practice on a daily basis. It allows us to see opportunities, ways that we can change, ways that we can benefit ourselves, experiments to try, and it all has to be done in a very playful way. Power. Power, the next subtopic, is about feeling that we can change, that we have the power to become better people through modifying our behavior. We have to hope that with our new changes, we develop agency, the ability to get things done. And this is primarily by developing a voice that is heard. And this is a constant theme that I'll be using in all my videos in the Third Act Journey project. And finally, we have the subtopic of people. Now, we humans are social animals, and everything that we engage in has to use this aspect. We have to consider that we're not doing this alone. We're doing this within the context of creating a team or group of people who we could relate to, we can talk to, who we could bounce our ideas off of, get feedback, and essentially expand our sphere of influence. This, again, this is all about generating agency, making us feel more alive, feeling that we can accomplish what we want to accomplish. Second major section is unblock, and this is about reducing friction. And this involves achieving clarity, courage, in order to get started. The clarity could involve writing a legacy statement where you sit down and you write out what it is you consider important. You can do a eulogy experiment, which I mentioned in my previous video. We talk about how our potential obituaries should reflect what we have accomplished as far as meaningful actions that we want to leave as a legacy. And this involves courage, the courage to get through the various roadblocks that we encounter. And of course, it's very easy to fall back into our old habits and feel that we can change or it's not working out. But we have to have the courage to feel that we can overcome any kind of negative thoughts we might have regarding making our lives better. Then there's the issue of getting started, which I'm sure the people who are also engaged in this 7 video challenge are dealing with, including myself, where the impetus just to record the first video, to make mistakes, to feel that you're producing videos that are not good. And certainly, as you can already tell, these videos I'm producing are just the beginning effort. And I really hope to do a much better job in the future. So I hope you stick with me. The third major topic of this book is sustain, to conserve, recharge, and align. Conserve means saying no to a lot of things that come across our desks. Understand that in order to stay focused on what we consider meaningful, we have to say no to the distractions. A lot of times people will ask us for favors, but we have to politely not only say no, but we have to explain how we're using our time to better affect and how they might benefit from our influence on them with the current project you're doing. Recharging. Sleep and rest should not be seen as a reward for our diligent work. Sleep and rest is part of the process and has to be integrated into our routine so that it naturally flows, that we could put in a certain number of hours, preferably 4 hours a day, doing deep work. This is a wonderful book by Cal Newport, which I'll be talking about in future videos. And what this is finding alignment with the things that we plan so that they really do contribute to what it is we want to accomplish in our lives, what we want to do in order to achieve a meaningful purpose that we recognize as beneficial, and hopefully others will recognize and will benefit from our ability to have this very determined focus and sustained effort. I hope that you can pick up this book and read it, and if you haven't read it already, maybe reread it to think again about how you can reframe the things that Ali Abdaal talks about into thinking about achieving a purposeful life. And for those of us who are older, certainly there is a certain urgency involved with limited time remaining, limited time as far as health. We all want to have a healthy lifespan, which is called a health span. We want to have a long life, but we also want to have a healthy life. So all these factors come to bear when it comes to thinking about productivity and managing our time in the projects that we do. So I hope that you found benefit from this video, and certainly I'll be talking more about this book and the topics that I've talked about in future videos, because I certainly believe that they're worth elaborating upon. As with all my videos, I'm going to end it with a quote. This time it's from the late glam rocker David Bowie. And his quote is, "Aging is an extraordinary process where you become the person you always should have been." Now, this is a profound statement, and you have to realize that many people will never come to the realization of the person that they could have been or should have been. It's about rising to the top of the Maslow pyramid of self-actualization. And it takes effort, it takes focus. Again, it takes saying no to all these peripheral projects that serve as distractions. and really making a determined effort to becoming a better person, which in itself is its own reward. Again, I hope you appreciate everything I'm talking about. I hope you can like this video and maybe even subscribe, and then hope you can stay tuned for my future videos.